American President Donald Trump has unexpectedly started publicly throwing his former national security advisor John Bolton under the bus. He suddenly came out to the press and stated that he never listened to this John Bolton and publicly started bad-mouthing him, claiming that supposedly Bolton, quote, wanted to go to war and destroy anyone who opened their mouth. According to Trump, Bolton is, quote, a dishonest and unintelligent person who, in his opinion, is now paying the price for his dishonesty. But what happened, and why is Trump throwing his former ally under the bus so harshly? The thing is, John Bolton, who was formerly Donald Trump's advisor, entered a plea deal with investigators in a case involving the illegal handling of classified documents. The prosecution charged Bolton with 18 counts related to the mishandling of classified information. And these charges, especially John Bolton's admission, could also affect Donald Trump himself. And the fact that Trump started to preemptively destroy Bolton's reputation in the media also says a lot. I'm Alexi Pichi. Let's discuss this topic together. But before we start, I ask you to subscribe to this channel, like the video, leave any comment, and also subscribe to my Telegram channel, Pichi News. The link to it is in the description of this video. So Donald Trump suddenly initiated public attacks on his former national security advisor, John. Donald Trump stated that he never listened to him and that he was a real tyrant. Trump said that he was never a fan of Bolton and did not consider him a smart person, but instead just used him for some specific purpose, which he did not specify. And this wave of criticism looks quite telling. So, next I'll quote Trump. Bolton is a dishonest and unintelligent person. He was radically in favor of war, not on other issues. He wanted to go to war with anyone who opened their mouth, with anyone who said anything. And I used him for a specific purpose. He was connected to Bush and caused a lot of problems, but he always wanted to kill people in wars. And that was fine with me as long as I didn't listen to him. And I never listened to him. He's a bad person, John Bolton. He's a dirty person, and we caught him, you understand? We caught him. But what is the point of such statements by Donald Trump? The point is that John Bolton is charged with 8 counts of illegal transmission of information related to national defense, as well as 10 counts of illegal storage of such classified data, precisely during his time working in the administration of Donald Trump in 2018 and 2019. And this scandal could affect Donald Trump himself, which is why such statements look like an attempt to distance himself from Bolton as much as possible in advance and put all the blame on him. And this kind of criticism from Trump towards Bolton didn't come at the moment when, for example, a year ago, the prosecutor's office started accusing him of all these crimes. No, not then, but specifically on June 5th, the day when John Bolton unexpectedly announced that he had made a plea deal in the case regarding the illegal handling of classified documents. He basically agreed to give up all the information in exchange for a lighter sentence, and Trump suddenly got nervous once again. Back last year, federal prosecutors charged John Bolton with 18 counts related to the improper handling of classified information. Initially, Bolton pleaded not guilty, but on June 5th he stated that he intends to plead guilty to 1 count of concealing information related to national defense. He expects to pay a fine of $2,250,000. And this agreement must be approved by the judge, and then it will be finalized. This agreement also provides for no prison sentence. However, again, the decision on the punishment will be made by the judge. The fact is that this crime is punishable by imprisonment for up to 5 years. But Bolton can provide information to investigators and get off with just a large fine. Yes, more than $2 million, but still, it's not prison. Now let's follow the chronology. In October of last year, the Department of Justice charged John Bolton with committing a socially dangerous act related to improper handling of classified documents. Some of the documents were classified as top secret or confidential information, to which John Bolton had access while working as Donald Trump's national security advisor. From April 2018 to September 2019, the indictment stated that John Bolton initially understood that it was indeed a matter of state secrets. According to the indictment, some of the documents were diary entries, meaning he was simply making notes, and they contained top secret information about the national defense of the United States. Bolton is accused of passing some of these materials, these notebook entries, to two of his relatives while he was writing a book about his work with Trump. And according to sources from the New York Times, it was John Bolton's wife and daughter to whom he showed his notes while working on his memoirs. And the only charge that Bolton is going to plead guilty to concerns documents similar to diary entries that he made in the White House Situation Room. And in this case, the maximum prison term would be 5 years, but there are also scenarios in which Bolton could get off with just a monetary fine. If he had continued to insist on his innocence and ultimately lost in court, Bolton would have faced imprisonment. But it's worth remembering that John Bolton is not the only critic of Donald Trump from his own team who has had criminal cases brought against him. Previously, cases were brought against former FBI Director James Comey and New York Attorney General Letitia James. John Bolton himself has been critical of Trump ever since he left his first post in the president's administration, and after that he wrote a book criticizing Donald Trump. At that time, Trump even suggested putting John Bolton in jail. But Bolton is still a separate case, and prosecutors in particular accuse him of illegally transmitting top-secret information about U.S. national defense using personal email and other messaging services. And these charges have already been proven. But what remains a mystery is, will Bolton be able to leak any information about Donald Trump himself or about how Trump himself handled such secret information? I'll leave it at that. Share your opinions and conclusions in the comments below this episode. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, and don't forget to like. That's all for now. Take care of yourselves. Goodbye, everyone.